Hello, hello, Melissa Dillon here, live on my personal page. And this is not necessarily a fashion statement. I just want to be clear. I'm covering up my bedridden hair. But I really actually enjoyed the fact that I kind of look like Jesus and then like I'm pink, so it's like Mary, which I think is amazing because I'm going through this whole wave of like digging into religion and Christianity. Like it was a topic of conversation today. I had therapy. I had a lot of stuff today. And I'm so excited to be in a place where I get to experience womanhood, sisterhood, motherhood, daughterhood. For so long, I feel like, I don't know, like what the relationships we have with other people in our lives are as good as the relationships that they had in their lives. Like, do you know how to be a good mother, a good daughter, a good sister? Is the goal to be good at those? It's like, yes and no, right? Like we want to be a good mother so that we're not hurting our baby. But the phrase of being a good daughter means that you listen to your parents, explicitly, whether they are doing things for your betterment or not. Like who chooses what's good? Like we all go through these experiences in life. We all get hurt. We all go through, suffering, usually at the hands of our family, usually at the people who love us. It's like, how does it happen? But it does happen. So like, what do we do with it? We got to heal it, heal it and grow. That was one of the biggest things I was thinking about today is there's all this like healing our inner child. Like even my sister recently asked me for a meditation on healing your inner child. All these experiences that we go through as children traumatize us. Like we go through things that later causes us to have a behavior that doesn't serve us. And the way in which we operate in our relationships and all of our relationships, the relationships in which we are partnered and married, the relationship in which we're friends, the relationships in which we have business, the relationships with anyone, like how we do one thing is how we do everything. Like, everything's a mirror. And so how you're functioning in one place, you're functioning that way in every place. And if you, and everything is a relationship. So when the only type of relationships I got to see as a kid was fighting and screaming and yelling, or like not, real. Like my parents would present themselves as one way to the people at church, but then they acted a completely different way at home. What's real? What's not real? What's the truth in that? My parents, and the thing is like every set of parents like did their best. We all tried to do our best as parents. And it's like, and that's why I'm messed up, and that's why they're messed up, and that's why they're messed up, is because we've all been messed up by our own parents. And as parents, we mess up, like accepting that circle, accepting that cycle, seeing ourselves as both the mother and the daughter of, like Melanie and Lair the other day said, women prayed to God for a solution and he sent them daughters. I was like, dang, that's so powerful. And right now, I would say, like on my experience, that most women struggle with relationships with their daughters, or daughters that struggle in relationships with their mother. And the feelings, I'm in the same boat. Like I am not any different. I'm not any different. And I can see it from both sides. I can see like what it's happened to me as a child, the wounds, the situations that I went through, the types of relationships that I witnessed between my parents. All of that impacted who I am today, how I show up today, what my relationships are like today. And there are things that I look back on and I'm like, well, because they did this, I now do this. And I could sit here and I can blame my parents all day long. And I've been a parent who's been blamed all day long. But how do we move forward from this? Like we talk so much about healing our inner child, and a lot of us are just running around as little children. We run around as little children in our businesses. We run around as little children in life, in relationships, because some of the time our children's in charge. But like, we need to let our children be in charge, the inner child in charge, like when it's, time to be creative and paint and draw and like the fun stuff. Like, too often our inner childs are in charge of the hard stuff. They have to bear the big burdens. They have to bear the pain. They have to hold the weight. And so much healing comes from like realizing the people who did it to you didn't do it to you on purpose, and it was done to them. Like, just recognizing this cycle that we're all stuck in. And stuck or held, I don't know. Like, it's like a yin and a yang. My parents mess me up. I mess my kids up. I'm trying to do it a little bit less than what I experienced. I forgive my parents. I forgive myself as a mother. I forgive my children. They're going to continue to go on. There's time I was thinking today, I was like, I love my baby so much. I love my baby so much. Like, I don't think there's anything that she could ever do that would make me not just love her so much. And then I'm like, they're literally moms who have babies who become serial killers. Like, if my baby, like, I'm not in any way wishing that MJ would be a serial killer, but I'm like, it is the potential that she can do something that just seems so like, what? And would I still love my baby? I'm like, I love my baby. I don't think there's anything that my baby can do that would make me not love her baby. Now, I'm not saying I would excuse her behaviors or fight for her behaviors and say something like that were to happen. Be like, well, I love you and you need to sit in jail. I love you and you're not invited in here anymore. But I would still love my baby forever. Like, I can't imagine not loving my baby. But this healing between, like, Lena just came on. And Lena is an amazing woman that I met. And I've expressed, like, again, how we do one thing is how we do everything. So every relationship that we have, I struggle in relationships with women, like working alongside other women, having friendships with women, my, sisters. I have my sisters, I have my mom, but beyond that, maintaining, having friendships, whether in person or like online, has been somewhat of a struggle. And I would like to grow up in that. Like, I would like to heal any wounds. Like, we have, like I said, we go through these experiences where we get wounds. There was situations in my childhood between my sisters and I where we hurt each other. Like, or even like in school, I was thinking about bullying, like how much bullying has messed us up. Like, I see bullying still happening online. And there's a part of me that's like, you know what? Bullying makes you grow up sometimes. And do we need to bully? Like, I'm kind of torn between the bullying thing. I want to bully some people that I see on the internet so they can get the point. But I don't know if that, I don't know if that's like, is that the lesson? I don't know. But I like, why do we have to say anything, nasty about someone else and what they're doing? I don't know. I'm gonna work through that. But sister wounds, like, one time I was thinking about it kind of like as like an Ashley wound. Like, when you watch the TV show Recess. So this was like a cartoon that I watched back when I was a kid, like Saturday morning cartoons. And there was a girl named Spinelli, and she was like a rebel. Like, she wore the black gothy type look. Like, she was different than the rest of the girls in the class. And she went by the name Spinelli. And that she was my favorite character. Like, I love Spinelli. She was like a rebel, just doing her own thing. She didn't care about anyone else's opinion. And she was so strong, so independent. And she went by a weird ass name of Spinelli. And I super connected with her in this TV show Recess. And then there was this like and by the way, so on the TV show Recess, there's like every character is like a theme. And there was a set of girls, like the Mean Girls, right? So in like the movie Mean Girls, like that set of girls, the girls who wear, and look at all these beliefs, right? Like, the girls who wear all the fancy clothes, the girls who have money, the girls who like to do their hair, the girls who like to do their makeup, they're all mean. and they're mean to everyone around them. Like, is that always true? Or is that what's presented in movies and TVs and stuff like that? Is that also in real life? And there are some aspects that I've experienced of that in real life, but I've also seen like that it's not always that. But the Ashleys, so in the TV show Recess, there's a group of girls, and they represent that avatar so well. Like, if you think about the girl from Clueless, you know, wearing that plaid outfit, like, I dress so well, I love how I dress, and I'm confident in who I am and how I walk, and I buy the fanciest things, and I don't really have a lot of worries in my life because I have money. Like, look at all those beliefs that it's like instilling about how we think about money and how we think about people who dress like that. But there was this set of girls, and they were all called Ashley. And they were like Spinelli's like arch emesis. Whenever she had issues on the playground, it was sometimes somehow related to the Ashleys. And they were always like the character, you know, running around in the back, causing problems and being like total girl Ashleys. And one day, one episode, I don't remember when exactly the timeline was, it came out that Spinelli's first name was Ashley. And she was like forced into the Ashleys. They're like, you are an Ashley, you have to be an Ashley. And initially she felt so good, she felt so awesome. I'm pretty sure I'm remembering this. But then she's like, I don't belong here, I don't want to be an Ashley. And I think the Ashleys had problems in this cartoon. And so she went back to being Spinelli. She was always going to be Spinelli. But she changed the way in which she viewed the Ashleys after that. The relationship was a little bit different once she admitted that she was an Ashley. And how she hated the fact that she was an Ashley because of what Ashley meant on the playground. And I feel like we have that wound as women. Like I sometimes have struggled with the idea that other women do their makeup like explicitly well, and I like don't do my makeup. And then it's like, am I judging them? Like, just because they did their makeup, does that mean there's something not so good about me? Or is it like they chose to do it and it's great and it's awesome and it means nothing about me? You know, like sometimes it's hard to be in a room with a woman who's like very beautiful with all the makeup and feel comfortable. But like, that was put upon me. That was part of the trauma within my childhood. Like women being able to like accept their bodies, like growing up listening to a woman, you know, constantly talk about her body in a negative way that impacts a growing woman, that changes how she sees herself and how she views herself. If how she views herself is through the lens of there's always something wrong with me, there's always something, you know, that could be fixed on my body, there's always a problem that I'm doing, you know, like commenting on our weight, on our appearance, and then religion, like how much religion makes you feel ashamed of your body and ashamed, like I was just like thinking like gosh, like our bodies are just these things. We didn't choose them, like they are. I mean, maybe we did, I guess, but like they are what they are. And we're living them, and then we're experiencing life in them, and then they make us feel bad that we have certain bodies and the way and the shape of them and the way that our fat is on our body and the way that our hair grows and like the places in which we have hair. Like, why is that like a negative commentary on a woman? There's like all this normal stuff. And then so I feel like sometimes I have this Ashley wound of like, this woman is so pretty, is so beautiful, so amazing, so incredible. And I'm not what I'm seeing her to be. So that somehow makes me inferior or her inferior, or she thinks she's better than me, or I think I'm not as good as her. Like, is any of that real? Or is all of that just fabricated? Right? Is all of it just a story? You know, but then I did experience pain, and I did experience hurt, and I did experience bullying. So it's like, some of this is not real, some of this is real. And at the end of the day, it's all about like, are we healing our sisterhood, our motherhood, our womanhood? And can we see, you know, that we're all contributors on all sides? Like I said, you know, my mother's messed up and I've messed up as a mother. Let's heal the wounds between us. Let's recognize each other for what we are. When it's like when we're watching, you know, Maleficent, and the first movie you see, she's a witch. She's well, not Maleficent, but like when we watched, you know, Cinderella, where she was like the evil witch, you know, bestowing an awful circumstance on not Cinderella, but Sleeping Beauty, right? And then you see her story, and you see that so much pain was afflicted upon her, and the situations that people put her in, like that's why she behaves the way she behaves. And so we can honor and recognize that in the people within our lives, in our mothers, in our fathers, in our aunts, in our uncles, and everyone around us. If we can recognize that they have wounds, that they carry hurts, that they carry pains, and we've been there in our own ways, in our own situations, can we forgive everyone? Can we have healing? And then we've got to grow. Then we've got to grow. We spend so much time healing, but we got to grow our inner child. I got to go take care of the baby. I love you all. Have a good night. Bye.